guys, didn't get much filming done last night. I got the tent up and just got something to eat, and it sort of went dark fairly quickly, and it's quite bizarre, but the campsite I've come to very randomly, there is a MZ Riders winter camping. I think it's the Yorkshire section, a winter camping going on. They're all a bit spread out, and there's some more coming today. You can maybe see them in the background. And what is most bizarre about this is that I have an MZ at home. I am a member of the MZ Riders Club. I do have the MZ Riders Club magazine with me, unopened, to read. And if I'd opened it a bit earlier, I'd have probably spotted that they were having a camp here. But anyhow, I had no idea. But it's quite an interesting little side story for me. But I've come away this weekend not to go to the pub, so I didn't stop at a pub campsite. Although there is a pub within 15 to 30 minutes, maybe about 20-30 minutes away. But I've chosen not to do that. I've got my little can of beer I had last night and one can of beer tonight. So, got the tent pitched, and it's a nice little site. It's in the Yorkshire Dales. The Honda CB500X. The Honda CB500X is running very, very sweetly. I'm packed for winter camping, so I'm carrying a lot more gear than I would in spring, summer, even autumn. So it's a bit cool this morning, and my gas ran out. Schoolboy error, forgot to bring a spare. So there is a cafe here because it's an outdoor centre, which I'll show you more of when I film it. But I'm ready for a coffee now, so I'm going to go to the cafe and get one. Hello, little pussycat. Nice, aren't you? Yeah. Very friendly little cat. And that's its house by the looks of it. And that's the sort of activity that they do here at the centre. They've got some cages. It's a gorge. It's a very steep gorge, which you can walk down. You have to pay, but it's you pay. I don't know what it is. You pay something, and then you can come back within the year. So that's the gorge. Oh yeah, you alright? Are you doing bacon buns or something like that? So guys, I brought my Ordnance Survey map to have a little look at the area, although I do know the area generally. And the table that I'm sat at has a map inset on the top. And we're near a little village called Moor, and Lofthouse. So Lofthouse and Moor. And we're just up this little valley here. And Steam Gorge, we're just up this valley here, and Steam Gorge is just there. And that's where we're camping. In fact, you can see the campsite sign there. So guys, how cool is this cafe? This is on the campsite, part of the overall development, and I'm actually in the cafe now. I'm just going to show you where I'm stood. And below us is all sorts of activity and walkways, and we've got little caves to go into. And walks down the gorge. That's pretty cool, isn't it? For a campsite cafe. Well, it's not the campsite cafe, but it's next to the campsite. Anyhow, I'm going to wander off now. Time to get the bike out and go for a ride. And for those of an adventurous nature, you can do, and this is in the gorge itself, you can do abseiling, caving. You've got wires which you can walk across, suitably supervised. Gorge scrambling, so basically getting very wet in wetsuits or dry suits. Also there's canoeing. There's canoeing in a local reservoir, and they have a river that they go to as well. So there's all sorts here. If you were to come here for a few days, you could participate in these activities. Now, I had a chat with one of the guys who said that normally you have to pre-book these activities, which you can do when you book the campsite. But if you just arrive here and they happen to have space, because they do it in groups, they'll just attach you and fit you in with one of the groups. So there's always a chance, even landing here without pre-booking, that you could actually get to do some of the activities. This is where they do the abseiling from. So basically you abseil down to the bottom of that rope, and then you scramble one way or the other up through the rocks and the river. It's a beautiful location, this. And I'll just show you the other side. So that's the other side, and that's the cafe, and as you can see, it overhangs. Then you get a really good view of the gorge on the other side of the cafe, from the cafe. And this is the camping field laid out ahead of us. And there's my tent. That's the Naturehike Cloud Up2. Proven to be a really good tent, that. Even in the winter conditions, it's although it's not really a winter tent, it's doing the job okay. I don't know if you can hear it on camera, but there's, I think it's grouse. There's a lot of grouse going on, noises going on, squawking. No, I don't think it'll pick it up on the camera, but fascinating to listen to them chirping away. Anyway, I'm at a place called Dallow, which is rugged beauty. And I'll just give you a sort of spin round and show you. And I've come from Masham, and I'm heading to Pateley Bridge. And from Pateley Bridge, it's not too far back to the campsite. So today I've just had a really good run over these Yorkshire moors on the Honda CB500X. And it's very cold, not freezing, but cold. And the skies look very daunting, don't they? I would imagine we're going to get a little bit of rain over there. Hopefully not where the campsite is, but it is roughly where the campsite is. Yeah, the Yorkshire Dales and the Yorkshire National Park, beautiful area this. I've been up and down here over the years. I've camped up here, and it really is stunning scenery. The Dales themselves are obviously the valleys, and then you get the moors, which is what you find here now. Obviously this is January, so it's pretty desolate, but when the heather comes up, this will be a thing of beauty up here. So guys, I think it's get back on the bike, pop down into Pateley Bridge, which is not too far from here now. And I think a cup of coffee and a slice of cake maybe is on the menu. I'll catch you back at the campsite. So guys, that's my day done. I've had a fantastic day out on the Honda CB500X. I've done a couple of routes over the moors, round this area over to Masham, and then Masham back to Pateley Bridge. You'll have seen it in the video. It's been a cracking day. It's late January now, and last night was very, very frosty where I'm camping, and tonight not so. It's a lot milder tonight. In fact, to be honest, whilst I've got layers of clothing on, I don't actually feel particularly cold tonight, whereas last night I was freezing. I quite enjoy doing these little videos with the camera on the bike, and I haven't done a huge amount in the past, but I really wanted to start doing more travel videos, or at least practice in preparation for travelling a bit longer term. So with the addition of another camera that I've got, which is a copy of a GoPro, and it's a little Chinese copy of GoPro, I think it was about £45. It's proving pretty good as a camera so far. The battery life isn't very long, but I don't think it is on a GoPro, and the batteries are quite cheap to buy, so I'll probably get some more batteries and then I can use that all day, as opposed to say 3-4 hours. The drift camera that I've got, that works absolutely superbly. Part of the reason why I haven't been able to do travel videos in the past is that my existing or previous laptop couldn't cope with the software for editing, so it was just too hard to do. And most of my other filming has been done on an iPhone, and the software works fine on the iPhone. But I'm making some changes. I've got a new laptop which can cope with the editing. I've got the 2 cameras for the bike now, and I'm going to purchase a Panasonic G6 camera, second hand, but I'm going to purchase one of those to start doing the filming on the camera as opposed to the iPhone. Also, the camera will give me the ability to take some decent pictures when I see things that are of interest, and it just gives me flexibility for doing these little travel videos. So really what you see with this video and with the previous one that I did, which was into the lakes, it's really just me practicing how we go about filming to make it a little bit more interesting. I thought it was going to be painful. Well, it has been a little bit painful just getting used to the stopping and setting the camera up and all that rubbish. But actually, that's not too bad. The editing between the iPhone footage and the bike-mounted camera, that's proved really awkward. So as soon as my Panasonic arrives, everything will be done and edited on the laptop. There might be the occasional thing I'll film on the iPhone, but it'll only be very occasional. So hopefully we'll see some developing and more interesting and better quality, a bit more professional for me, footage as time goes on. And remember, all this is in preparation for doing some travelling. With the COVID-19, it's been very, very difficult. It's not been impossible to travel. I mean, a lot of people are going abroad, getting into Europe, but other things are going on in life that also sort of have made it a little bit awkward for travelling. A combination of things, and hopefully we'll spend this year actually getting a grip of filming better, and actually making things work easier for me when I'm actually filming and editing. So I'm ready to get something to eat now, so I'm going to tuck in. There's no point filming, it's pitch black, and I'm just going to get something to eat, and then I'll catch up with you tomorrow. I'm going to travel home tomorrow, but I'll film it and we'll see how that goes. Well, got home, guys. Just got home. Pretty cold. January, winter. I've had all sorts of conditions. It's actually not as cold as a couple of weeks ago, but still cold. Up in the Yorkshire Dales, I was camping up near Pateley Bridge and had a great time. The bike's been performing really well. It's fairly heavily laden with camping gear because winter camping you need more stuff. But I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed the film of some of the Moor crossings and the travels. I'll catch up with you next time. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye now.